Caitlin Clark Minor responded to Project B offer allegedly. Caitlin Clark could be set to take on a $50 million plus per year deal from the Saudis. Could offer players up to $50 million. Elena Bird acting as chief basketball officer. So it says here, Project B is set to begin with the Women's Basketball League in large part because the immense growth and interest of sport. It'll feature 6 teams of 11 players. Caitlin Clark could sign a four-year, $200 million basketball contract. Breaking news shaking the basketball world. Caitlin Clark just accepted a jaw-dropping $50 million offer to join the Saudi League. Caitlin Clark might be making legitimate NBA contract money. We're talking $50 million per season. Caitlin Clark might have responded to Project B offer allegedly. Reports are saying the new Saudi-backed league could offer WNBA players up to $50 million. Everyone is talking about this major move that could shake women's basketball forever. It looked like this whole world thing could be finally getting some competition on a major level, because they're putting up big-time money for this Saudi Arabia whole thing to go down. Now, I don't know too much about this. That's why I thought this would be a Caitlin Clark could be set to take on a $50 million per year deal from the Saudis in Basketball League Project B. They are getting it primed and ready to go. And this could mean legitimate NBA-level money for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark could be set to take on a $50 million plus per year deal from the Saudis and Basketball League. Project B. They are getting it primed and ready to go. This is insane. Caitlin Clark might be making legitimate NBA contract money. We're talking $50 million per season. Project B is set to begin with the Women's Basketball League in large part because of the immense growth and interest in the sport. It will feature 6 teams of 11 players each traveling through Asia, Europe, and the Americas. A true global competition. So, it says here, Project B is set to begin with the Women's Basketball League, in large part because the immense growth and interest in sport. It will feature 6 teams of 11 players each that play 7-toe tournaments across cities in Asia, Europe, and Americas, and is already 2 years in the making. Burnett believes it can be a multi-billion-dollar business. Caitlin Clark remains one of the most popular athletes in the world, and her market value continues to rise. With new leagues emerging, she could easily become one of the highest-paid sports figures globally. Continually be one of the higher paid sports in the world. Like I said, highest paid, and it's not even remotely close. Like getting paid $500,000 for one night for a sports person isn't even remotely close to being the highest paid. Like I think a lot of people will get paid a lot more, especially if they are like the Aside. Updates confirm the Saudi Arabia-backed league is scheduled to start next fall, running from November to April. This would fit perfectly with the WNBA offseason, making it possible for players like Caitlin Clark to join without conflict. So, it stated updates on the Saudi Arabia-backed league. League is set to start next fall, running from November to April. Damn, this is a full league. During WNBA offseason, already signed WNBA players could offer players up to $50 million. The report says Project B could deal another blow to the WNBA. While the league tries to raise salaries, it can't match what the Saudis are offering. Players like Caitlin Clark could make up to $50 million per year, something unheard of in women's sports. Let's get into what benefits Caitlin Clark first. Let's get into that. Project B could deal another blow to the struggling WNBA collective bargaining agreement negotiations. While the league wants to exchange higher salaries for exclusivity, they could never match what Project B is capable of. So all of that, the WNBA won exclusivity with the players. We're giving you 4 times the amount of contracts so you don't go play in these other leagues. That's cooked because players can go over here and get up to $50 million. Analysts say Caitlin Clark's influence and global appeal make her the top candidate for this historic offer. Project B investors believe she can bring massive attention and sponsorships to their new international league. Now, where the hell she was when Caitlin Clark was getting the crap beat out of her last year, I don't know. But this year, a lot of players got smoked on the court. The new Saudi Basketball League, known as Project B, will run from November through April during the WNBA offseason. Players could earn as much as $50 million per season with global tournaments held across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Updates on the Saudi Basketball League. And the Saudis got the bag. They got the bag. You see what Turkish Alashik and all them doing over there in boxing? They giving Canelo $500 million for 4 fights. Bud getting $50 and $100 million for every fight. Now they throwing the bag around. They got the bag. Okay, the league will partner with Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund and host events in cities such as Dubai and Riyadh. Each team will feature top WNBA and international stars, turning women's basketball into a global spectacle. projected Caitlin Clark doing during the offseason? I was like, oh, Cait Clark should go to the offseason and do like a world tour. So it's like they'll go and play 2 weeks in America. They might play 2 weeks East Coast in America and go around a bunch of places and play games in big arenas. They might go 2 weeks West Coast in America. 2 weeks in China, 2 weeks in like Europe, 2 weeks, I don't know, 2 weeks in like Eastern Europe, 2 weeks in Western Europe. Like it's an interesting one, but it means they're playing all over the world. And obviously there's gonna be like 2 weeks in like Saudi and like Dubai and place like that. But reports say the league already signed several WNBA players, with Alana Beard acting as chief basketball officer and Candace Parker also involved. The timing for the WNBA could not be worse, since Project B offers salaries multiple times higher than anything seen before. The timing for the WNBA could not be worse, considering that they're due for a CBA negotiation, and almost the entire league is not on rookie skill contracts or free agents right now. Burnett promised salaries multiples higher than what exists in the WNBA professional. Note he's saying sport in general, not basketball specifically. The Athletic confirmed that Project B has begun negotiating contracts and even completed a few signings. For players like Caitlin Clark, this could mean record-breaking income while maintaining off-season flexibility. Interestingly, WNBA sources tell The Athletic that the new entity has already started negotiating with players, and Burnett confirmed that they have already signed WNBA players to contracts. So they already signed a few WNBA players. They already signed them. And this does not conflict with the WNBA because it's not during their season. This would completely eliminate Unrivaled, though. This would eliminate Unrivaled. Insiders reveal that several investors and advisors, including Steve Young and tennis star Sloane Stephens, have joined the project. With this lineup of backers, analysts predict the league could reach multi-billion-dollar value within years. They have Alana Beard, who is the chief basketball officer. And how good was Alana Beard? Alana Beard is a G's 4-time All-Star All-W team member. So yeah, this year she'll serve as the chief basketball officer. Candace Parker, Steve Young, Jovovich, and Sloane Stephens are among investors and advisors. Candace Parker is key. The report explains that Project B will employ 66 players with contracts 10 times larger than current WNBA deals. Offers ranging from $10 to $50 million per season make it almost impossible for athletes to refuse, not play in the NBA. Project V will employ 66 players. And if they increase salaries 10 times, which would be extremely low given that the Saudi fund, how would players who make $150K WNBA turn down $5 million, or in the case of someone like Paige Beckers who make $100K her first 4 years in the league, how could she turn down $10 million, $20 million? The league's connection to Saudi funding has sparked debates about ethics and influence in sports. Still, many argue that the financial boost could finally bring women's basketball the recognition and stability it deserves. The Saudi Public Investment Fund is going to be in everything. It's going to be very hard. If you want to be principled and say you're not doing anything that's even remotely involved in the Saudi Investment Fund, then a large chunk of some of the stuff you enjoy right now, entertainment, just scrap it. Like, these countries are running out of oil and they're just we're going to put money into everything. The Saudi Public Investment Fund is known for investing billions into sports worldwide. Experts believe their entry into women's basketball will raise global attention, but also stir controversy about influence and control in professional sports. It is absolutely sports washing. There are moral and ethical things against this, but there are also moral and ethical things. You can look at any single sport league in the world, any single sport team, and you can find moral and ethical reasons to not support it. Unless, of course, you just want to be, the fans of Forest Green Rovers or something, or Dukierken United. Project B's creation could completely reshape the future of women's basketball. Players would no longer rely on small WNBA salaries or overseas contracts. The Saudis are offering financial freedom never seen before in the women's game. What does this mean for Unrivaled? Will players really want to be in Asia for 6 months of the year? Man, listen. For $50 million a year, they're going to go $10 million a year. They're going to go sit wherever the hell you tell them to. Wherever you tell them, Caitlin Clark can make $50 million a year, bro. These are the Saudis. You think they know who bring the bag in. They know what's up. Analysts say this could be the biggest challenge the WNBA has ever faced. If Athletes like Caitlin Clark start joining Project B, it may force the WNBA to change its pay structure or risk losing its biggest stars. WNBA turned down $5 million. Or in the case of someone like Paige Beckers, make $100K her first 4 years in the league. How could she turn down $10 million, $20 million? What does this mean for Unrival? Will players really want to be in Asia for 6 months out the year? Caitlin Clark already makes more money in one night of speaking events than many athletes make in an entire season. Adding a $50 million contract would set a new record and redefine what success looks like in women's sports. She's going to be doing a lot more of these, and she's going to be making a hell of a lot more money. But it's Caitlin left Clark. It's Caitlin Clark. Like, she's still one of the most popular sports people in the world, and her speaking arrangements have most definitely not. The idea of playing in a world tour format has excited fans and sponsors. If Caitlin Clark joins, she could help make women's basketball one of the fastest growing global sports, expanding beyond America into Asia and Europe. Then it would have been in most seasons, just because I knew she needed to play basketball. But I ultimately did not think it was going to happen, even though they could pay her more money currently than the WNBA can. A lot more money. About $1 million a year is what they offered Caitlin last year. Some fans question the moral side of this move, calling it sports washing. However, others argue that athletes like Caitlin Clark have a chance to open doors for future generations and bring financial equality to women's basketball. There are moral and ethical things against us, but there are also moral and ethical things. You can look at any single sport league in the world, any single sport team, and you can find moral and ethical reasons to not support it. Like, unless, of course, you just want to be, the fans of Forest Green Rovers or something, or Whitegeener United. Commentators believe Caitlin Clark's decision will inspire other superstars to consider the same path. With $50 million on the table, her acceptance could begin a new era where women athletes finally earn what they deserve. AB, congratulations. Second team All WNBA. You deserve this. I think Coach said it best when she said, "You're the rock of this team." It's so true. You show up every single day and you're the same person and you're consistent. Your work ethic is incredible. So, it's been incredible to be a part of for 2 years, and I can't wait for many more years to come. So, proud of you. So, that was Caitlin Clark showing some love to Boston, man. But I'm telling y'all right now, $50 million, think about that, bro. Caitlin Clark might be making legitimate NBA contract money. They could offer players up to $50 million backed by Saudi Arabia. It will feature 6 teams of 11 players each competing across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. If Caitlin Clark joins, it could start a new era where women athletes finally earn what they deserve. Caitlin Clark might be making legitimate NBA contract money. We're talking $50 million per season, could offer players up to $50 million. Projected Caitlin Clark doing during the offseason, I was like, oh, Caitlin Clark should go to the offseason and do like a world tour. So it's like they'll go and play 2 weeks in America. So that was Caitlin Clark showing some love to Boston, man. But I'm telling y'all right now, $50 million, think about that. You've seen what they're willing to pay the max per year. Caitlin Clark could sign a four-year, $200 million basketball contract. Fans are cooking on social media tonight. I mean, they are cooking. This one says, you know damn well it is. College rings have never been this important. Caitlin Clark could sign a 4-year, $200 million basketball contract. This isn't just basketball. It's history in the making. Don't miss what happens.